This is my sister-in-law's beach shack. This is the bathroom sink inside the beach shack. And this next clip is what my sister-in-law asked me to build.
Shaped rather than square because of this in the way.
Yeah.
Is it possible to do a little shaped cupboard around the sink? Just something so I could actually stand toothpaste and toothbrushes on. So I've got a little bit of a top.
Yeah.
But not out here. You know what I mean.
And this is an old salvaged toddler bed, which I'm planning to use to make this cabinet. While I prepare this wood, let me tell you what I'm thinking. I want to do a Tambour style door because it's something I've always wanted to try and it'll make this project more interesting for me. I also want the top to be totally waterproof. Wood, even painted or varnished, doesn't tend to hold up too well in a wet and humid environment like a shower room. Usually I would draw up a plan for a project like this, but this time I'm just going to get started and see what happens. But I might come to regret that later. First I'll make a top and bottom panel, but some of these boards were bent like a banana, so to help keep the boards aligned while I'm gluing these up, I'll use some dominoes, although biscuits or dowels would work just as well. Now to mark up the curve at the front, to do that I'm using a narrow rip of MDF. And I didn't like that. It looked a bit too extreme, so let's try again. I'll get these stuck together with some carpet tape so that I can cut them both at the same time. I cut through some of the dominoes here. I really should have anticipated that. Luckily though, this is going to get painted later, so it won't be a problem. Now, if I flip one of these, I can see how closely matched they are, and as you can see, they match pretty well. Good enough for me anyway. Now to start thinking about the Tambour door. So I'm going to want to cut a channel about 10mm in. Now these corners here are going to be too sharp, so I'm going to want to ease those corners. And I want my groove to be about 8mm. And again, I want to ease those corners. I'm going to be cutting this groove with a router, so I need some kind of jig that's going to help me position the router bit offsetting from the jig. The edge of my jig is going to need to be positioned here. The distance from that mark to where the groove starts is 71mm, so I'm going to lock my combi square there. Now I can mark that same distance from my newly drawn curve, and it might sound like I think I know what I'm doing, but believe me, I'm winging it. I'm going to use an 8mm spiral upcut bit for this. So this here is the shape that my jig needs to be. I have a piece of tracing paper here, and I'm just going to line this up to this line here. This point here marks my center line, and I'm going to trace this out. Now if I fold this up to my center line, making sure that these two edges are flush, I can now cut this out. This should now be perfectly symmetrical, and I can transfer this to a piece of MDF. To make sure this doesn't move around on me while I'm cutting, I'm just going to fire in a couple of brad nails. And I'll make the cut in 2 passes, cutting about 4mm deep each time. And I need to make sure that I'm keeping the base of my router referencing tightly against the jig. Despite my skepticism, especially because I'm not that confident with routers, this seemed to work pretty well. The smoother I get these grooves, the smoother I think the door will run, so I spent a decent amount of time sanding to maximise my chances of this working. And then I got a coat of primer on. Delivery.
Thank you. Like a lot of families and people in general, we really value the time in our evenings, and we don't want to spend that time thinking about what we're going to cook, having to go to the supermarket at the last minute because we don't have in what we want to eat, thinking of a recipe, and also the added pressure of making sure that it's healthy on top. That's why we love using HelloFresh.
It gives us total flexibility. You can pause or swap delivery days online, and they've just expanded the menu variety with new family concepts, high value seasonal veg like purple sprouting broccoli, and premium proteins, including steak as a core menu staple now.
All the recipes come with these handy recipe cards. Really easy to follow, step-by-step instructions, you can't go wrong.
Over 50% of their menu is ready in 30 minutes or less. And you'll know from the previous collaborations that I've done with HelloFresh that even someone with my limited cooking skills can manage cooking a delicious and healthy meal. Right now you can get 50% off your first box, plus 20% off your next 4 boxes, and free healthy treats for 2 months by scanning the QR code on screen now, or using my code RNBB26 at the link in the description. I'm doing a dry assembly so that I can measure the internal diameter between the top and the bottom, and then to that number I want to add the depth of my groove multiplied by 2. Then I'll deduct a couple of millimeters for wiggle room, and that number is how long I'll need to cut my slats for the tambour door. I'm going to be ripping these pine bed slats in half to make them a little narrower. Now I can mark up a little rebate to the end of each slat, and again I'll allow a millimeter or 2 extra for wiggle room, and I'll fit my flat tooth grooving blade to make the cuts. By adding a line to my sled, I can cut multiple of these all at once. Here's how they will fit the groove. Hopefully this will work okay. I'll clean up what will be the front faces of each slat, and because I had ripped these, I lost the chamfered edge on one side, so I'll add that again with the block plane. This is an old blind, which I've been reusing as a paint surface, but now it's getting reused for a 3rd time as what will be the hinge for my tambour doors. I know it looks a mess, but it'll never be seen on the inside of the cabinet. I'll use PVA glue to stick the slats to it. And I'll leave it overnight for maximum strength. Earlier on, I'd prepared some side panels, but on their own they won't allow enough space for the doors to go fully inside the cabinet. So I'm going to try and add another panel here. And the angle here is about 52 degrees, so I need to bisect that, dividing it by 2 giving me 26 degrees as the mating angle for making these rip cuts. If I hold these 2 panels together at the correct angle and then position them on top of the bottom panel, and if I scribe a line here, I think that if I now remove this excess material, the 2 panels should then be able to join at the bottom. That looks pretty good. Before I glue this up, I'll scrape away the paint for better adhesion. And I'll use polyurethane glue as it sets quickly, meaning I can carry on working. I want to make sure this is nice and square. Adding some candle wax to the sliding parts will help the doors move much easier. This works well with wooden drawer runners too. I'd made these doors oversized, so here I'm figuring out how much excess to remove. And this was a good opportunity for me to test how well the glue had adhered to the slats on the excess bits. Pretty impressive. While I have good access here, I'll get a top coat of paint on. And then I can add my top panel, making sure the doors are in the grooves. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to make the top waterproof, and I have something pretty special for this. This, I believe, is original 1960s Formica, laminated to birch plywood, and it's in a bit of a mess because it looks like it's been left outside for some time. I managed to salvage this from an old table. I think this is going to fit quite well with the retro design that my sister-in-law added to the kitchen. I fitted a new jigsaw blade and did a test cut here just to make sure that I wasn't going to get chip out on the Formica, and it cut nice and clean, so I went for it. These edges are going to come up lovely once oiled. I want to add a back panel, so I'm going to rebate the top and bottom, but these side panels are really quite thin, so I don't really want to rebate those. So instead of rebates on the sides, I'll glue on a couple of small cleats. And for the cladding, I have some of this salvaged 11mm tongue and groove, which will need some sanding. Right then, knobs. Let's look at some knobs. I quite like these knobs. They'll match the doors. Finally, I need a base, but I want to shape it to support the whole bottom panel evenly. And what I came up with was to start with a box that will support the back part of the cabinet. Then I added a couple of short bits, which I can secure a front panel to. And then I marked up some angled cuts that I'd need to make for a couple of diagonals. I cut these at the bandsaw using a small speed square to hold my workpiece square to the table, which actually worked really well. There were a few woodworm holes in this salvaged pine that I'm using, and even though I was confident it was no longer active, I'm going to treat this a couple of times with some woodworm treatment just to be on the safe side. I'll secure the base to the cabinet later using some L brackets, which I can fit now to the base, and then it's off to the shack to install it. First I'll offer up both components just to see if I need to make any adjustments to the height, but it looked perfect, so I'll get the base fixed to the bottom. Now I need to mark up where I need to remove material for the pipes under the sink. I'll start with a hole, drilling from both sides to avoid breakout. It is quite difficult to film here because it's such a tight space, but I've got the doors working okay. I actually cut out another slat just so that the back of the door didn't foul too much on this pipe, and you've still got a big enough opening to get things in and out. So in order to get this right up against the wall, I would need to cut a hole here for this pipe, but I don't want to do that because this shower room is all getting rejigged anyway. At a later date, what I'll probably do is screw this to the wall and also just put a bead of silicone along the back. So that's it for this one. We're off to the beach to enjoy the British summertime. Don't forget to check out that special offer from HelloFresh. There'll be a link in the description, and thank you for watching.